Once again, we're live from Studio B here at the Beach Street Yacht Club in San Francisco. Welcome, everybody, to show number 931, I think it is. I can never remember the date or the show, Julia. Co-host Julia Vadekint is here representing the St. Francis Yacht Club, and I'm representing Balboa Yacht Club, although we're members of a few others, including the Beach Street Yacht Club. The Commodore with me here in Studio B. We welcome you to the show for this Friday, and the starting line, we'll give you the quick lineup. Happy Friday, and happy, Julia, International Kangaroo Care Day. Probably not what you're thinking.
Okay.
Coaching Corner, John Emmett. She says, change the media, not the sport. And if you're signing up sponsors, tell them a story. Just don't put branding on your boat in the sails. He's absolutely right. Update on the 2026 49er FX and the NACR 17 World Championships in Quiberon in France. Big event. They had a lot of wind yesterday. 2 more days of racing there. And the Etchells Worlds are wrapping up. Is or are, Julia? Is wrapping up at San Diego Yacht Club this afternoon. We have a full report and a video from Coach John Rogers, our FOSI, as he was on the way out to the starting line.
Oh, good.
An hour or so ago. AC38 Cup Date, that's our big feature. It's the worst kept secret. We've been telling you about it on here. We broke the news a long time ago about Team Australia entering AC38 as a challenger and probably beyond via the Royal Prince Edward Yacht Club. FOSI Focus, we've got Otterowski.
Oh, not nice.
Bing Bong, Sangmeister, Pleasance, and maybe yet Pindar.
What a nice combination.
Well, they're carrying on in London, as you can probably tell. And also the last leg, foiling for the first time. We're going to cover foiling as well. Pensacola Wasp Clinic, courtesy of Harkin. And that's our last leg. Plus this day in history, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, and of course, our fantastic FOSI.
Oh, good.
Alistair Murray saying, yes, K-Art on top in the Etchells Worlds as they start their final race today. He's sailing with an Aussie. And we'll tell you all about that in the B block. Greetings from New York City, Peter Taylor, who doesn't know it yet, but we are making him a super FOSI, Julia, for all he's done for the show.
And he has.
He has indeed. Steve Atkins, whoa, almost on time, a rarity. Welcome, Commodore. Commodore Atkins of Madison Beach Club in Connecticut, former Commodore there. Phillips Greg. If we do last names first, Greg Phillips, greetings from the Gold Coast of Oz. A lot of Aussies on here today. And Phil Yeoman says it's foggy in Sydney today. It's foggy in SoCal, according to Ed Worley, and I know it was foggy in San Diego. We had some texting with past Commodore Sandy Purdon about the Etchells Worlds a few minutes ago. And Peter Stevenson, we're featuring him in today's show because he gave us, he covered for Sailing Illustrated. He gave us coverage and some good ink at the Royal Prince Edward yesterday when they announced the Australian Championship. Shall we get into it, Julia? This is our show that we call Yacht Racing News, Views, and Notables. For our Friday, the 15th of May, show number 931. What are we celebrating today, Julia? I told you in the top of the show.
Babies.
No, Kangaroo.
Oh, Kangaroo Care.
International Kangaroo Care Awareness Day. Now, what does that baby have to do with it?
Pouching.
Well done. Close, but no cigar, but almost. International Kangaroo Care Awareness Day focuses.
Shame on you.
I'm such a juvenile delinquent. Focuses on the power of skin-to-skin contact between parents and newborns. And this is a real day. I mean, this is celebrated around the world. In its simplest form, kangaroo care means placing a diapered baby, hopefully diapered, upright on a parent's bare chest and covering them both with a blanket or shirt for warmth. It looks like a quiet cuddle, but it functions like a remarkably effective support system for a newborn's body.
Remember that, Grandpa.
Yeah, well, when Meg has her kid, I'll remember to do kangaroo. But, it's natural. We certainly did that with Meg. Leslie and I both did that. I'm sure most parents probably do that. So, Julie, you'd think poorly of me if I didn't have a video, right?
Well, I would.
Here it is.
May 15th is International Kangaroo Care Awareness Day. Here's a cute video of a kangaroo.
Somebody, when they did that video, and I looked at, at probably a dozen videos, somebody was taking the piss out of all of us, as they would say in Oz. International Kangaroo Care Awareness Day, and they put a picture of a kangaroo, a young kangaroo hopping around. Let that be a lesson to all of us. And of course,
I know lots of Australians who wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah, well, Fritz Mueller's checking in from Miami, Julia. Fritz, who's become quite a contributor to this show. We appreciate it, Fritz, all your support. And who else is in here? Margarita Marshall. What a nice surprise to have you both back. Well, we did a Tuesday show, Margarita, after saying we were going to take a hiatus in May. We will do a show again next Tuesday, and then we are going to continue our break after the week off we had a couple weeks ago.
Promises.
Well, we are. We're going to take then the rest of our, what did we call it? Sabbatical. Yeah, we got to go learn some things. Jody Shields is up early where it's 06:06 on the east coast of Australia. Hello back in Wanji after my delivery trip to Noumea.
That must have been a nice trip.
He leads the life. He leads the life. Clayton Embley, greetings from the Wheelhouse. Hello, Tom, Julia, and all of the FOSI. Peter Taylor, thank you for all you've done for us, Peter. Is our big feature today, of course, is this Australian America's Cup Team Australia announcement, and we'll get to that in a moment. But just a couple notes from our Tuesday show. We told you about the sad passing, tragic even, of Rick, as we knew him, Frederick George Bannerow IV, on May 3rd. He was 67. He was a major contributor to this channel, to this show.
And to the sport.
That's a really good point, Julie. He was very popular among all of the FOSI. He wrote lots of notes, lots of texts to people all over the world, and we're all deeply appreciative. And not the least of which is that he was twice on this show doing big slideshows for us. He was a photographer par excellence and a marketing guru. And we are
celebrating his 50th magazine cover.
Well, I don't know about 50th, but what I wanted to say in follow-up to Tuesday when we did a tribute to him, I heard from his kids, from his daughter and son. You saw the letter, Julia.
Yeah.
And they said, Eric writing on behalf of his sister, Courtney, Tom, I wanted to sincerely thank you and everyone at SI for the incredibly thoughtful tribute to my dad. He truly treasured the show and loved being a part of the FOSI world. Being able to come on Sailing Illustrated over the years to share his photography, stories, and passion for sailing brought him so much joy. He had tremendous respect for what you built and genuinely valued the friendships and community that came from it. Listening to the tribute meant a great deal to my sister Courtney and me during an incredibly difficult week. Hearing everyone speak about him through the lens of sailing, photography, and friendship captured so much of who he was and what made him special to so many people. Thank you again for honoring him in such a meaningful way and for always welcoming him so warmly onto the show over the years. I know it would have meant the world to him. Thanks, Eric Bannerow. So nice note in follow-up to our tribute to Rick on Tuesday's show. And Commodore Adkins, who also lives in Connecticut, saying, a huge loss in Connecticut. He was a major contributor to our sport, especially in his home state of Connecticut. Now, another follow-up, we covered on Tuesday's show the report about the opening regatta for the 52 Super Series in PP, in Puerto Patals, in Mallorca, in Spain. And we were talking about this boat, No Way Back, which finished third, Peter Hirama. We call him Hirima for some reason. Peter Hirama's boat from Netherlands, and he's an owner-driver of some repute. He's done a lot of things in our beloved sport, not just in those 52 Super Series, but just by way of additional background and information, this new team, or a successful established team in new different colors, is the question mark, because Dutch racer Peter Hirama took over the outstanding Quantum Racing Team. That's the news here. The people close in knew that, but not all of us did. But after after their double-winning 2025 season, during which they lifted both the 52 Super Series title and the Rolex TP52 World Championship, he took on all of the hardware, that is Peter, all of the hardware, the winning Bottin-designed boat, plus all the shoreside setup. Most of the sailing team, you'll see T. Hutch and others on the boat, they continue, as does the coaching support. Now, see, there it's spelled Hirama, not Hirama. So maybe that's where I was confused, but I believe it is Hirama. He is a massively experienced owner-driver in his own right, a past winner of the Dragon Gold Cup and previously successful on the RC44 circuit in the early days of that class. He wants to test himself at the highest level now, and the chance to take over the reins of the quantum racing program could be the fast track to success, but of course, nothing is guaranteed. Now, we showed you this picture on Tuesday, and our Super FOSI in the middle there in the blue shirt, or nearly in the middle, is, of course, Andrew Pindar. And there was some confusion about whether he was with this team or presenting trophies. And Andrew very humbly and quickly after the show pinged me and said, hey, I was there as a sponsor of the 52 Super Series. He and his Pindar Logistics are back as a major sponsor, and he was presenting the second place owner-driver to Peter Hirama there in the middle. So that's what that was all about.
Yeah.
Our Super FOSI, Andrew Pindar there on the right, presenting that trophy to Peter, who was third overall, but second in the owner-driver. Some of the owners are drivers, some of them are not. Some of the drivers are owners and some are not as well. So bravo Zulu all around. And Andrew, thank you for sorting us out on that, and keep up the fabulous work.
Indeed.
That our Super FOSI Andrew.
I wonder if he ever sleeps.
You know, you see him on the FOSI chat and all hours of the night and day. He is peripatetic.
He is.
And what a great guy, as many of our Super FOSI are great guys and gals. Speaking of great guys.
And men of mystery.
And he's once again, Julie, he's moved from the UK to another venue. Coaching corner with Super FOSI John Emmett. He's now in the Netherlands.
Hi, Tom, Julia, and all the FOSI.
Sound.
Welcome to Holland. I was going to say sunny Holland, but it's not that sunny. Anyway, stories are powerful, and it's so important in sailing that we tell the stories, showcase the heroes, inspire the next generation. In simple terms, I don't think we should be changing the sport to suit the media. I think we should be changing the media to suit the sport. And I think, without getting too melodramatic, that's how we save the sport. We just need to showcase how good it is and tell the stories, because that's what people follow. They follow their heroes, they follow their teams. Now, one of the big barriers to sailing, and we've talked about this quite a lot, is the financial aspect. And perhaps this is where sponsorship comes in. And that is the same for teams, for clubs, for classes. And by telling the story and getting that buy-in, I think that's the most important thing. Ideally, people have a sponsor for life, and you gradually build that relationship. That be looking at hardware, looking at sailing equipment, or looking at a more commercial sponsor. But there has to be something in return. Gone are the days where you just said, please give me a few pennies to go to sailing club. I recently had quite a few requests myself from young sailors who wanted support, and I said, I'll give a talk at your club free of charge, but you need to go out and sell the tickets and be part of that fundraising effort. But I think you have all these stories of J.K. Rowling writing hundreds and hundreds of letters trying to get published, and I do think it's about that perseverance or that grit, and about being in the right place at the right time. Certainly, just to go after the golden egg and hope to get one person to cover all your sponsorship is possibly wishful thinking, but it also makes you very vulnerable if in the future that brand changes their direction and then they no longer support you. I think it's good to build the different relationships, and I think sailing, we have an awful lot to offer, but it's about telling that story. And I think SailGP, probably at the elite end, has done a fantastic job in building brand awareness, and things like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds only add to the sport. But at the grassroots level, just to get a few pounds, a few dollars, a few euros to be able to go and do your Optimist regatta may be that key stepping stone in a sailor's career. But sponsorship, it's a difficult thing to get in the first place. But once you have it, if you give that feedback to the sponsor and you continue to tell your story, I suspect it's much easier to keep it than it is to get it in the first place. And with that, sail fast, sail safe, and keep having lots of fun.
Now, Julia, do you know where he is? I think I said he's in the Netherlands, and you can tell he's up in the north part.
Yeah.
And it's cold and windy, and he is there sailing. I'll tell you more about it in a moment. But as Clayton Embley said, I'm beginning to think that John Emmett is the Scarlet Pimpernel. He is here, he is there, he is everywhere. Mm-hmm. Who he is, no one can tell. He is the Scarlet Pimpernel. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
From what?
The Scarlet Pimpernel.
Okay. So this is where he is. This is, in fact, a photo from last year when he won the Dutch Masters, the ILCA 6 Dutch ILCA Championship, ILCA 6 Championship. And he is there now in Brassermeer, which is a lake down southwest of Amsterdam, for the Open Dutch Masters again this year, being held this weekend, 14th through the 17th, so yesterday through Sunday. And for those of you who are geographically challenged, you see this lake right down here. I'll get my telestrator working, Julia. That's the lake southwest of Amsterdam. Most of the sailing that goes on in the Netherlands, I mean, there's sailing all over here, down here in the IJsselmeer, or the whatever they call it, where it's closer to the Meerkenmeer, mm-hmm. to Amsterdam. But up here, you see at the very top this thing called the Regatta Center Medemblik, mm-hmm. right up at the top. And that is where most of the traditional racing has gone on. There are big Olympic classes. Regatta is up there. Fantastic sailing country. And here is the water sports centrum, the Brassermeer Water Sports Centrum, where this laser regatta is taking off again. It is quite a small lake, John Emmett says. Pindar is saying it's bloody freezing in the UK, most of Western Europe currently, snow down to 1,000 meters in front.
Ooh.
So it's chilly, Julia.
It is. Maybe that's why I'm cold.
Maybe Julia came in here this morning, said, I'm cold. Even though I got all the heat coming from the monitors and everything else. John Emmett sailing, get to the front of the fleet. And we always say at the end of his report, because he's been helping to lead the charge on Paralympics, sailing back in the Paralympic Games in Brisbane 2032. We hope you're all pushing hard for that. We know the Aussies are, and others. And if you have any influence on your MNA, your Member National Authority, or your international or your National Olympic Committee, let alone the World Sailing or IOC, we hope you will keep pushing that event, and in particular this event, the 2026 World Sailing Inclusion Championships that will take place in Portimao in Portugal. The Inclusion Championships, I'm going to need some coffee, Julia, from the 5th through the 10th of October. So we're encouraging everyone to make a big push to help get sailing back in the Paralympics, whether it's a demonstration event or a regular event, come 2032 in Brisbane. Speaking of Australia, that's going to be our main topic today. We'll get to that in a minute, the announcement of Team Australia. In the meantime, there are some world championships almost to conclusion we want to talk about here. The 9th through the 17th is the 49er, the 49er FX, and the NACRA 17 Worlds. And those three classes do a joint effort, and they really do quite a good job. The joint promotion videos, they have live coverage, and bravo Zulu to them. This year's Worlds are in Quiberon. They're on the Atlantic coast of France. 2026 in Quiberon have more than 410 sailors from 40 nations across the 3 Olympic classes. This was from ChatGPT because I couldn't find the numbers anywhere else, but ChatGPT is getting better and better.
Oh, good.
And they note, he notes, she notes that the 49er fleet has more than 80 boats. And guess what? We got a FOSI in position number 2 going into today's racing.
Oh, good.
There was the start. I watched it live. They got a couple more days of racing, but I watched it live this morning early. The start of the 49er and their top teams. So this is the Gold Fleet now. So they've eliminated already to the top, I think 25 teams, something like that. High winds, large waves, and a strong current created challenging conditions on day 3 yesterday for all 3 classes in Quiberon. The weather conditions were so severe that during the 49er racing, the fleet struggled to turn downwind at the windward mark. Forcing boats to continuously sail upwind while waiting for an opportunity to execute that scary and sometimes dangerous bear-away maneuver. Eventually, 2 teams made the daring move, but many others were left unable to follow suit.
Awful.
Photo from yesterday, you can see this where they are right now. The water is a little less stirred up. You can see there at the top of that shot. See the wind up there, how much windier it is there as that gust, that puff runs through the fleet. It was a wild and woolly day yesterday. And here are the results going into today's racing, which will have been completed by now, but that's what I was grabbing this morning. Seb Menzies and George Lee Rush from New Zealand, Kiwiville, are leading, and they've really had a good series. As you can see, consistently in the top 10. They've only, in fact, in the top 5, except maybe that 6th and that 10th. But look at who's in second, Julia.
Oh, look at that.
Our FOSI Harry Price, along with Max Paul, who's another Gov Cup. They're both Gov Cup veterans. Yep. Nice to see them doing so. They've just hopped in this class. Well, not quite hopped in it, but they're fairly newbies to the class and are taking it with storm and aplomb.
Great.
So bravo Zulu to them, and the competition is fierce. Now, this again was another part of the day yesterday that was so bizarre. This cruising boat sailed right through the FX fleet, and some of them saw the cruising boat, some didn't, and you can see the French boat and the Spanish boat got wrapped up there in their work, and it was a brutal thing for the fleet. And Jesus Renedo, who is a superb photographer, he's been covering skiff sailing and Olympic sailing for years. He reported witnessing an unprecedented events throughout the day. He captured images of the FX fleet rather, sailing with colorful Jennikers while a cruising yacht inadvertently crossed their path, leading to a collision that damaged the mainsail of FRA 84 and the dagger board of ESP 73. Tough stuff.
Yes.
There are the FX results, the French on top, Spanish, Belgian, Denmark, Germany, quite a mix of countries in the women's skiff class, the Olympic skiff class. And it's fun watching. I watched some of the video, double trapeze, fabulous class. And here again is the double trapeze NACRA 17, the third class of that triumvirate that is managed together and often races together. Beautiful photos. I thought you'd enjoy those of this great class. And here are the standings as of this morning before today's racing, and they've got racing again tomorrow. I believe it wraps up tomorrow or maybe Sunday in Quiberon. Here's a video.
Our day was mixed. We had some good races, and we capsized in the second race, which brought us back in the fleet a lot. It was a bit like yesterday. We've had 2 days of 20 knots or so in big waves. We're trying to learn as much as we can these days to take forward in the season.
Today was nice because it was sunny. One of the days, you remember why you got into it, because it's just awesome. You get to throw the boat around in some big waves and some big breeze. happy about the way we have sailed since the last few days. We had a few days of light sea breeze, and now we have some stronger breeze since yesterday, and we are happy about the way we are sailing. Yeah, we're just happy, and we need to continue until the end.
We need to continue our process, and our main focus now, Clément said, it's our communication to feel good on board.
First of all, the World in 2026 in Quiberon. It will be in 3 weeks now. The main goal it will be the qualification in 2027, the Olympic qualification for the nation, and then maybe we'll have a trial with the French selection. And if we are selected for the game, it will be the Olympic gold medal in LA.
We just finished day 4, and so far the week's been pretty good here. We've had a few range of conditions. We've had light stuff in the beginning of the week, and then some windy testing conditions the last 2 days. For us though, we're just trying to get race practice. You know, we come from Australia, which is pretty far away, and we don't get to race the fleet as much as everyone else does, so racing is big for us.
I mean, we love racing in Europe, but particularly here, as it's been a venue where you can get anything really. So across the last few years we've been here, yeah, you get a range of conditions, and it always keeps you on your toes, but it means that you're getting a lot of good training and a lot of good practice in for regattas to come. And for us, we have the Worlds coming up, so yeah, some flat offshore is pretty good, and some waves are also pretty good. So yeah, we're loving it so far.
The start of this Olympic cycle was probably a little bit slow for us, slower than what we wanted or expected, but I think now we're getting to a good place. We're starting to build a bit of momentum, but you know, there's still a long way to go, so just trying to take it step by step and work on the things that we need to figure out and get it all down pat in 2 years' time.
Put the puzzle pieces together.
Well, that's the way the Olympics should be. You should have a women's class and a men's class, and go at it. Great stuff. As Alex Kent says, it looks exciting, and I totally agree. Drone shots really add something to presenting our sport and actually help to understand the whole experience, says Gordon Smith in Denmark, and he's, of course, spot on. And Ryman is right, too. Ted's saying, it annoys me when the music is so loud it blocks out a lot of the interviews.
Indeed.
And they do. It's hard, you know, even for us here, mixing the audio between the mics and the sound. I try to pull the sound down, and we're probably a little loud on the mics and a little softer on the sound coming from the videos and so on. But here's what is really annoying, frankly, is that they have good live coverage of this racing. World Sailing put out a promo, and their promo says, this was from this morning, and by the way, this is also a lesson for those of you who want to know how to get notified about our show. You can see this bell thing here? When I put a promo up, as I do the night before, you can click on this, or just generally speaking, you can click on the bell for YouTube and for Facebook, and you'll get a notification, I think by email, but maybe otherwise, when we're about to go on the air or have gone on the air. So they've got that going, but that wasn't the point of this. Here is a promo from World Sailing about live racing in the 49er, the FX, and the NACRA 17 Worlds. And what class are they featuring, Julia, in the graphic? The Ilka.
Yeah.
The laser. Who the hell is running the show there? And World Sailing. And their graphics department, at least. I mean, you know, and you know, I can quibble about their claim. A lot of you have sport, nature, technology. That's a nice claim, but it doesn't have anything to do with sailing to the uninitiated. Sail fast, sail safe, have fun, tells you we're all about sailing.
Yes.
And World Sailing needs to rethink their claim and also their graphics department promoting. Okay, I don't need to go on
I
a
have
rant.
empathy because I don't know all the small boat classes either. Just right.
Well, it's Crutonic. Joe Holtzman checking in from beautiful Estes Park up in Colorado, over in Colorado from us, I should say, where unlike Northern Europe, it's sunny, balmy at 75 degrees. There is more than one NACRA 17 still bothering. Yeah, well, there's plenty of NACRA 17s racing in various countries, and then they all get together to race, but there's not a big cluster of them in any one country. That's for sure, David James. We talked about the Etchells going on in San Diego, the 2026 Worlds. Big turnout at SDYC. Wraps up today at the beautiful San Diego Yacht Club in Point Loma in San Diego. And I was a proud member there in the 88, 92, 95 period before we moved to Europe. And it's one of the best, greatest, most beautiful clubs in the world, to be sure.
Warm and always.
Well, they call it America's greatest city, and I don't know if that's really true, but it certainly is a nice place to live. It's warm year-round. The average daytime temperature is 70, give or take, Fahrenheit. Mm-hmm. In fact, a lot of people, those of you like yourself who are cold here in Studio B, even though all the heat is coming out of my mouth and out of all these monitors, you like Hawaii, where it's 85 Fahrenheit.
With the breeze.
Well, and the breeze.
All the time.
And that's why I like the south of Portugal even more so than San Diego, Newport Beach, because it's a little chilly down there, even in the middle of the summer, normally. Mm-hmm. But it's a beautiful place to be, a beautiful yacht club. And here is the video from 2 days ago. The videos are so good, Julie, I thought I would play both from day 3 and day 4, and today being day 5.
Okay.
I'm Ryan Mazzella. I'm sailing with Adjudicator, sail number 1438. San Diego conditions have proven to be challenging, and there will be a well-deserving winner of this regatta. Challenging racetrack, beautiful race course today, good breeze, 12 to 13 knots. What more could you ask for?
Hi, my name is James Golden from Coronado and Annapolis Yacht Club. We are here on the 3rd day of the Etchells Worlds. Pretty good breeze from 280 degrees. We had a really good first start and was able to get out to the left. Our second race was pretty good. We ended up with a solid top 20.
Day 3, my name's Graham Viles. We sail 1419, no dramas, from Great Britain. Another tough day on the water. First race, we couldn't get off the start line. And then second race, much, much better. Finished with 6th place in race 2 today. We're in San Diego in the sunshine, having a great time. We can't complain.
Hello, my name is Victor Diaz de Leon. I am from Venezuela and Miami. I'm sailing on Encore. We're having a blast here at the San Diego Yacht Club. Great band, great sailing conditions, and beautiful yacht club with great sailors, so enjoying it a lot.
It's such a nice place. And of course, the real treat of living in San Diego is there are no mosquitoes. You don't have to worry about bugs because it's so dry. You know, they get, give or take, 6 inches of rain a year. So it is, it's desert.
Yeah.
It's dry. So you have no mosquitoes. And the other thing is that it's nice. You can plan, it rarely rains and it's always warm-ish, 300 days a year. So you can plan outdoors activities like that, you know, out in what's called the sail drying area at San Diego Yacht Club. Put some tents out. Now, you don't have to put tents up. Put some tables out there and carry on. Put the band on the deck.
Right.
On the north-facing deck and party at the San Diego Yacht Club. So that was a couple days ago, and now here is the video from yesterday, day 4.
Day 4 of Etchells World Championship was phenomenal. It was sunny, it was beautiful, it was windy.
My name's James Mayo. I'm from Australia, and I race on the boat Magpie with 2 teammates, Paul Kayard and Ben Lamb. Yeah, I looked at today, we had a 2 and a 3. We had a lot of momentum yesterday with a similar scorecard. I think maybe the same scorecard. We were boat of the day, and I think we were boat of the day today. You know, it's as we all know, it's a long series. You know, we're just out there having fun and enjoying what we do, and honestly, it's just a privilege to have the opportunity to compete here and amongst so many incredible sailors. You know, you look around and there's just multiple Olympic gold medalists, bronze medalists, silver medalists, world champions, and all great humans, just great people to be around, to share the race course with them and see how you go is just it's a privilege, and then to have some good results and put yourself in a good position is just a nice place to be with one race to go. But there's a lot of golfing left.
Yeah, I've sailed all the worlds in all the different countries over the last 30 years of my life, and have done 15 to 20 worlds. And I tell you, this has been the most competitive.
Yeah, going into day 4, the 10th place boat had over 100 points.
Yeah.
That's how tough this regatta is.
Good afternoon. I'm Casey Schnorr, one of the co-chairs of the 2026 Etchells World Championships here at SDYC. We're wrapping up day 4. Beautiful couple of days on the water. Great competition. We've had a wonderful raffle to support our junior program. We've given away a bunch of Zeit gear. We got some free beer, free snacks, and people are just relaxing, having a good time, and enjoying their camaraderie with their old mates.
Fabulous stuff.
Mm-hmm.
James Mayo, who is leading the regatta, I'm going to tell you more about him in a moment, but he is leading the regatta. He is Australian Sailor of the Year in 2025, according to Alistair Murray, who would know because he's the past president of Australian Sailing, their national governing body. Great guy, a spark plug in sailing. I don't think I've met him. I don't remember, but he seems like the kind of guy you want to sit down and talk turkey with, have a beer, relax, or go sailing with. He just seems terrific. Yeah, Ted Ryman, the drone shots are awesome. The boats look great. The back and forth between Commodore Harrington and a couple others about Vaqueros versus Velocitech. And Alistair Murray, in fact, used to live near San Diego, the best weather in the world. Well, yeah, it is great, but I still like the south of Portugal, Alistair, because it's a little warmer and a little breezier throughout the year. Ed Worley saying, yeah, that's quite a fleet. Indeed it is. And then David James, who's been sailing Etchells on and off for years. There aren't many clubs with the expertise, resources, and facilities to pull off a regatta of that caliber. Kudos to SDYC. I did the Etchells Worlds there in 2000 with over 115 boats. And yeah, Clay Embley, I did see there was a brief when they were doing a shot of the starting line from the leeward end. I saw the replica Yacht America out to the upwind, the starboard end of the starting line, the replica Yacht America, owned by Troy Sears. Mm-hmm. And if you go to San Diego, Julia, you can get a ride on. They do whale watching, or at least he used to. My late great mother, Troy, very kindly put her on the wheel of America. Many, many years ago. Well, not that long ago, 10, 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And she beamed from ear to ear.
Yes.
She called it one of the happiest moments. She was a pretty good sailor.
Yes.
She crewed for my dad when they won a national championship. But she loved sailing, having married into it, and getting her hands on the wheel. And Troy was standing behind her, but he let her steer it. He let her, you're a little high, bear away a little bit, come up. And it was one of the great moments of her life, my beloved, since we're talking about Mother's Day. Okay, so let's talk now about this guy, James Mayo. And of course, he's got Kayard with him as well. And I don't know how they're sharing the helming duties. They're both listed as co-skippers or as the lead guys on Magpie. Australia is 15-26. And they have a comfortable but not huge lead as they're racing now, the final race. And this scorecard reflects throwouts, and they have an 11-point lead, 55 versus 66 points. This is with throwouts going into this last race. But they both have a throwout. They both have they can't go off and finish in 60 or 70 or 50 or 60. So they've got to stay in contact, Magpie does, with Rogue, Scott Kaufman's runner-up boat. But look at how tight those standings are. It's fabulous racing. And San Diego Yacht Club, it seems like when they host the Star Worlds or the Etchells Worlds, is just magnificent. And by the way, they ought to put the Etchells, as I said on this show some months ago, they ought to put the Etchells in the Olympics.
Absolutely.
Widely distributed boat all over the world. One design, fantastic boat all around.
Yes.
And just put it in as the match racing boat and have a women's match racing event and a men's match racing event and get on with it.
Yes. I know a whole bunch of people who think that.
Finally, we have a video from this morning, courtesy of John Rogers, the head coach at San Diego Yacht Club, who is racing in this event and doing well with 3 of the kids from his junior sailing program. And this is them on their way out this morning, a couple hours ago, to the starting line. You can see it's a bit foggy. These kids are they're having a blast.
Yeah, like a little north of the old days.
There's David Lysinger, who is Jim Nicholas's son, who skippers. I think he steers once John starts the boat. So thank you, John Rogers of FOSI. He is the head coach at San Diego Yacht Club and on the way to today's start when he sent that video to us.
Nice.
Julia, what happened on this day in history? 1991. And if anyone gets this, I mean, maybe David James will have scoped this out by going and looking at the web. He's long since sussed out what website I use, or the 2 or 3 websites I use for this. 1991, Julie, here's your first clue.
Okay. All right.
Who's that?
Queen Elizabeth.
Correct. Her Majesty, the late, great Queen Elizabeth II. And who is that?
Bush.
Which Bush?
The first one.
George H.W. Bush.
Yes.
I think better known as 41 in this country because he was the 41st president of the U.S. with Her Majesty. And here's your final clue. There's Barbara Bush on the right. There's Her Majesty, and then George Bush. And greeting baseball players, David James. Did I not tell you he'd get it?
Yep.
President George H.W. Bush took Queen Elizabeth II to a Baltimore Orioles versus Oakland Athletics, our team across the bay here, baseball game. So he knew what it was all about before we even played
Good for
the
you,
video.
David.
Welcome awaited Queen Elizabeth when the presidential helicopter landed at Lake Clifton. Her Majesty, Prince Philip, and President and Mrs. Bush got into a waiting limousine for the motorcade trip to Memorial Stadium. The royal party arrived right on schedule as crowds of royal watchers waved and cheered, all of them eager to get a glimpse of Her Highness. First stop on the agenda was a tent reception complete with Maryland crab cakes fit for a queen. Then it was time for the monarch to meet the Orioles and the Oakland A's. The players were on their best behavior. No tobacco chewing, sunflower spitting, or unsightly scratching for these regal guests. From Frank Robinson on down, they followed proper protocol perfectly. Cal Ripken Sr. even removed his cap for Her Majesty. Cal Jr. paused to pose for a picture with President Bush. At one point, the Queen ventured out of the dugout to greet the fans, and they loved it. As the whole stadium stood for the British national anthem, the Queen settled back behind the bulletproof glass installed in the private box of Orioles owner Eli Jacobs. There, she enjoyed baseball, Baltimore style. But she didn't try one of our uncommonly good hot dogs. The Queen seemed too interested in the O's to take time out to eat.
When they said that there was no tobacco chewing or spitting or no unsightly, what was it, unsightly scratching?
Yes.
Baseball, a lot of you know the baseball players are famous for, how do I put this delicately, adjusting their junk during the games. And the truth is that apparently, as Steve Gruber is saying, the Queen was apparently not amused by this. She was only there for the first couple innings and then asked to be taken back to the ranch, back to, I guess, the British Embassy in Washington. Did she get mugged? That is a real Baltimore experience. And Hamish Ross, the Kiwi deed doctor, we call him, says, I thought the A's had moved from Oakland. Am I wrong? You're right. When I said that, it was they were in Oakland at the time. But you're right, Hamish. They've moved to a stadium. I think aren't they up near Sacramento, the state capital, and they headed to Las Vegas, ultimately. Maybe they're waiting for their stadium to be built in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the story, but apparently what really happened was that after President Bush took her to the game and thought she would like it, she apparently found it dull, with the excursion only lasting 2 innings.
I'm with her.
Now, what's the connection to our beloved sport? Well, her husband was a fantastic sailor. Her daughter is. Her son sort of is. Her son, the king now, and Prince Andrew, no longer Andrew, formerly Prince. He was president, a commodore, whatever they called him, of the Royal Thames when I was there with the Cup a long time ago. And of course, George Bush is from a famously good boating, although he's more into fishing and power boating. But you know, boaters are boaters. We got to give them some credit. This day in history, the 15th of May, 1991. Julia, don't ever scratch.
A lady would never do that.
Of course not. But we did both laugh out loud when watching that video. I hope the rest of you enjoyed that half as much as Julia and I did. Okay, let's get to the feature now. And the feature, of course, is by way of an America's Cup, an AC38 Cup date, because the big announcement, as we told you on Tuesday's show, was going to happen on Wednesday, our time, Thursday, in Oz. But I start from our show number, what was that? I don't know, it was over a year ago in September of nearly a year ago, September of 2025, when we recognized it was, we do almost every September 26th, the 42nd anniversary of the Cup that changed everything. And if this new Aussie team has the same success as Australia 2 did on that fateful day, winning race 7 and ending the longest winning streak in sports, bravo Zulu to them. But I for one, have my doubts, and we're going to explore what their real chances are. Get your comments, because then we're going to do a correct or crutonic at the end of this segment and see what people think.
How can you do a correct or crutonic?
Well, the assertion that they're competitive, and we'll see if people think they will be or not.
Okay.
Sadly, the Sydney Morning Herald, we told you on Tuesday, used this picture after saying Australia to launch the first America's Cup bid in a quarter of a century. That's true, 26 years ago, not counting the very brief Challenger of Record function that Australia had, that one of the Australian clubs had in following the 2013 event here in San Francisco. Australia launched the first America's Cup bid, and there was Bondi and JB on the right, the Australian John Bertrand. And we told you for several weeks that it was going to be through the Royal Prince Edward Yacht Club, a smaller club but prestigious, on Sydney Harbor, and that the announcement would come on Thursday Australian time. And it's a beautiful little club, and they are in fact quite active.
That's great carpet.
And it is, isn't it? And the Winning family are members there, hence the challenge through the club. So the Winning family, and we told you we were expecting Simmer, Slingsby, Ashby et al. And indeed, that's what was announced, that the CEO, Aussie, The CEO would be Grant Simmer, and he is the CEO. They've announced the first sailor named to the team is Tash Bryant, she of considerable repute and success.
Mm-hmm.
And the performance director will be Glenn Ashby.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Tom Slingsby was also there via video for the announcement and was interviewed by the quite a good crowd of media, including our own Peter Stevenson, who was there on behalf of Sailing Illustrated. Peter, a.k.a. Pedro Foiling Sailor, and he not only got their attention, but he sent a number of these slides that we'll show, but he also shot some video, and I'm going to show you the first one.
Tom, Julia, and all the FOSI. I'm just here at the start of the media briefing, and it's starting to hot up. So you can use this as an introduction, Tom, and talk to you soon.
So you got a feel. It's a small room at in the clubhouse, but a beautiful backdrop, the harbor in the back and the flagpole. And Pedro was there, and he asked the first 3 questions. He was superb. Watch this.
I have 3 questions. Peter Stevenson, representing Sailing Illustrated from San Francisco. Grant, my inside sources tell me, okay, the boat's in New Zealand. We have Australians working on it there at the moment. When do we expect to get it sent to Australia? And will the new nose be fitted? Glenn, given your current situation, will the boat have disability access? And are we going to use it to campaign to bring back parasailing into the Olympics in Brisbane 2032? And Tom, the challenge of this for you, and from what I know of you and your hit pass, mentally, how do you prepare for this challenge? So go in whatever order you would like.
Well, I can answer the first one. The boat is being modified now under Glenn's leadership, but with the guys at Team New Zealand providing incredible level of support for us. And we don't have time to bring it to Australia. We will ship it direct to Naples from New Zealand.
Regarding the Paralympics, I'm absolutely a massive advocate for bringing that back to Brisbane, and have a lot of mates that would love to see that happen. So if there's anything I can do, very happy to help out there. As far as access onto the 75, the beauty is that you don't have to cross sides. So even though I won't be sailing on the boat, most likely, Tom, Tash and the rest of the team, I'm sure will do a fantastic job. Really, at the end of the day, the performance side of things is a massive focus for me, and my role within the team is largely to make sure that the team will have a boat to be able to send across to Naples, that Tom and Tash and the rest of the team will be able to get on and hopefully go out and do us all proud.
The third question, Tom, we'll have the actually put it into the microphone again so you can hear.
Tom, Peter Stevenson, Sailing Illustrated. Given your past and all the things you've achieved, immense, how do you prepare yourself mentally for this challenge that is ahead of you now?
I think it's pretty easy to prepare mentally just because of the state of sailing in Australia at the moment. The talent pool we have, we've seen through Olympic sailing and through Sail GP, we've seen that we have unbelievable sailors, and they're people we have access to bring on the boat. So for me, I always say, if I get given an even boat, we can go out there and beat anyone. And knowing we've got Glenn Ashby working on the design of this boat, and Grant Simmer and the people we're attracting, there's a saying in any organisation, talent attracts talent, and the people we've got around in this team, I'm just fully confident that we're going to attract amazing people to our program. And because of that, if you've got good people, you're going to get the results on the water. So I'm really confident with the people we're getting involved, and so that gives me a lot of confidence.
Yeah, Tom, Damien Wright from 9 News. Are you confident that you could wrench some of those Kiwi, for the Australians on the Kiwi boat? Could you see them coming across, or is it done deal for them?
I think it's a done deal for a lot of Australians who have already signed up to different campaigns. for this America's Cup. But my hope is that this is a long-term program, and we're building the foundation now for future success to win the America's Cup back.
So that was Peter Stevenson.
Well done, Peter.
Wasn't it? You look at the comments here. Pedro, Ted Ryman says, you legend, getting SI in there first. And you can see he thought a lot about that, Julia, what he was going to ask, and made a couple clever, connections to Brisbane and so on. And then that reporter from, I don't know, it was Channel 9 or Channel 7, whoever the guy was, then asked the question, well, you're going to wrestle away some of the Australian sailors from some of the other America's Cup teams. Like, that ain't going to happen because they're under contract and so on and so forth. But some of the mainstream media simply don't do their research and don't understand the way that Pedro does, or Dolly DeVola would, or Peter Shipway, or Richard Gladwell, who wrote some great articles about all of this in the last 24, 48 hours. So, Pedro, thank you for that. I just want to talk a little bit about what I am surprised by, because there was no mention of Jimmy Spithill. And I know he's got some connections still with Luna Rossa, but I would have thought, and I don't want to say one hears, there's some rumors that they approached him and he said, well, it's got to be more than that. I don't come cheaply. But I don't know that for sure.
Luna Rossa needs all the help they need.
Well, but he's retired. He said he'd retired from Luna Rossa and from the Cup.
Oh,
and
he has?
And I'm surprised that he didn't get the call, and maybe he did. I've got a call into him or a text into him to see, and I haven't heard back. But Tom is a huge talent, as you all know. I've done a campaign with him that we won, of course, here in 13. And he is an amazing sailor, probably, perhaps, arguably, the best sailor in the world, again. Now, the other thing I was surprised by, no mention of JB. As Margarita Marshall will know, she's on here watching, and a few others of you who were there, besides Margarita and myself, in Newport on the 25th, I think it was the 25th, or was it 26th of September 1983, at the Newport Armory, which is now the Sailing Museum, the Museum of Sailing. This famous press conference after Australia 2 won, there's Alan Bond on the right, and his wife, Red, as she was known, Eileen Bond there in the back. And of course, John Bertrand, the winning skipper. There's the Commodore next to him of the Royal Perth Yacht Club. The yacht club's very, very well featured in those days, as they should be. Well, where's JB? Why is he not involved in this? Did they reach out to John? And I've got an email to John saying, hey, why aren't you involved in this? Did you say no thank you? Did they not ask you? I'm a little curious about that. But Tash, let's go talk about Tash, because Crosby Lorimer did a superb interview with a number of the people, but this one, a brief one with Tash, because I didn't see anything else from anybody. And this one, I think, well, actually, Peter may have also interviewed her, but this one was short and sweet, so we'll play it.
Tash Bryant, so lovely to see you as the first nominated sailor on board Team Australia. Yeehaw.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of incredible listening to you say that, a huge pinch me moment for my sailing career, and it's been an incredible journey just to get here, and yeah, to be part of such an amazing team representing our country in the green and gold is something that I know I'm going to cherish forever, and I can't wait to get out on the start line with the team.
And bring it home.
And bring it home, obviously.
That's so nice. And apologies, our graphics department got her first name wrong, Trish, instead of Tash. Alistair Murray says he's going to ask JB. Yeah, I did put a note into him, Alistair, and I may have texted him as well. But what a great sailor and great personality. I think she will be, it'll be a superb addition to not only their team, but to our beloved sport. Now, what about the boat? Because Richard Gladwell, I'm stuttering here. Richard Gladwell reported that he didn't know what was going on with the boat. He obviously hadn't had time to hear the interview, and maybe hadn't even seen it until now because Pedro sent it to us.
You're right.
When Grant Simmer said, no, the boat is not going to go from New Zealand to Australia before it goes to Naples.
Right.
So that's interesting because there is, as Ed Worley will tell you, there's the so-called CIC rule, not only in the deed of gift, but in the protocol. And they must be relaxing the rules to try to ease this team in. This is from Richard Gladwell. Slingsby says the team will launch their AC-75 in March, but doesn't say where. Well, we'll tell you where, because Grant Simmer told Peter Stevenson. The only dates publicly announced for 2027 AC-38 are the match dates of July 10 to 18, 2027. Based on the 2024 America's Cup dates in Barcelona, the race schedule will be 2 months, maybe longer, by the time you include the Challenger Selection Series. Our calculations, this is Richard Gladwell, based on 2024 timings, indicate that the teams need be sailing in Naples in early March. For the final, there will be presumably, like there was in Barcelona, a final preliminary regatta raced in the AC-75 for the start of the LVC projected on or about May 1st. It was, and therefore probably is, a 24-day voyage from Taronga to Barcelona for the 2024 America's Cup. Factor in 3 weeks for pack-out and transportation to Taronga, and there's not much sailing left in 2027 in Auckland. Of course, those timings can be compressed, but unlike the Kiwis, the Australians have to get through a knockout sudden death Challenger Selection Series in Naples. So you heard Grant Simmer said the boat is going straight from, no, not Australia, straight from New Zealand to Italia. Our graphics department again. A little, Julia, knock on that wall over there and tell the graphics department back in the control room. That's the control room behind those doors.
Yeah.
Right?
No, all 45 staff are back there.
Our whole staff is back there besides the two of us. Margarita Marshall's asking, what about a Qantas flight? And, who knows? We saw one of those big Ukrainian planes land in Auckland the other day, but apparently not sailing related, or if it was, nobody's talking about it. Clay Embley says, I would like to place a bet. I bet $1,000 US the Australia has zero chance at winning the cup and will get nothing more than a well-done participation trophy. Dogzilla Monster, a.k.a. Stingray up in Seattle, says 2.8 meters of the bow is already, because that's the rule, 2.8 meters of the bow is already under construction in Oz. It will reach Auckland in a month from now, and then they'll put it on the nose of, Te Rahuti, which is the Boat 1, built in 2020. But it was Boat 1 for New Zealand for the 2021 Cup. They built a second boat after that. An old boat, and it's got major rehab to be done. And they've got, apparently, you have to believe Glenn and, all three of them, all four of them, that the work is well underway. But having done a bunch of these cups myself and been inside teams, won 6 and lost 7, I can tell you that this is a management exercise, a technology race more so than a sailing race. And this is a massive undertaking. And I for one, agree with Clay Embley that trying to get a team together on this short term is going to be tough. And that's why in the headline of today's show, the caption or strapline below the cover slide, I said, do they have a chance of winning or something like that? Or is this toe in the water for the next cup?
Yes.
So either way, we'll see.
For sure it's the second.
Do you think the American Challenger will be competitive with Patriot? That's a good question too, said Cedric Lorich, who's the new Commodore of the Arizona Yacht Club. Bravo Zulu again, and we mentioned that on Tuesday. So here's what the boat's going to look like. Apparently, this was the rendering, AI rendering of the boat when it has its branding, the Australian national sporting colors of green and yellow displayed in prominently. And Jody Shields is saying all this is assuming that the cup stays in its current format. Watch this space. Good question, good point, Jody Shields. But I think the cup's got all sorts of interesting and perhaps apocalyptic developments ahead of it here in the near future, even. Grant Simmer was also asked as this was being displayed, he was asked, well, what if you do win? Where will the next cup be? And he said, well, it's a different world now. It's no longer the Defender. He didn't say this in so few words, but he said the Defender is not naming the venue. ACP, the America's Cup Properties Board, of which we're an active part now, is making the venue and timing decisions, which, of course, is completely contrary to the deed of gift.
Yes.
Which will sooner or later get adjudicated. I'm pretty confident. I think the Attorney General in New York and the courts are going to end up with this in their proverbial laps. Don't scratch your lap while the cup is in. Come on, Julia. The cup's in it. Litigation.
Help us all.
Well, and the current defenders don't give a rat's arse in honoring the deed. Jody Shields is saying, well, clearly that is the truth. But back to what Grant Simmer was saying, he said, if we win, wouldn't Fremantle be great? Freo, Perth, WA, Western Australia. So one can only hope. I just want to say thanks again to Peter Stevenson.
That was really well done.
Super FOSI. And he submitted quite a bit more than just the photographs and videos you've seen, but I think he has a future, Julia. And I want to say, too, that if anybody else, so we keep saying this on the show, besides John, besides Alistair, we've had one or two other videos from various people. And we've had a feature on the show on and off. It's been a while, called Pedro's Personal Perspective.
Yes.
And he's done some work for us, so some content for us. So we really, Peter, we really appreciate that very much. Peter Stevenson, a.k.a. Pedro. Now, the aforementioned at the top of the show, correct or crutonic? Talk about lie. Push the volume, the audio up, because it was hard to hear Tommy Slingsby. So we've got correct or crutonic Jody Baby Shark Shields. And I'm asking all of you, do you think the Aussies have a chance? And we've already heard some comments
have a chance
here,
what?
Of winning AC38.
Okay.
But before we do that, I have a superb video. It's 8 minutes long from Matthew Sheehan, Planet Sail. And he discusses the pros and cons, the ups and downs. And as I say, it's a superb video from Planet Sail.
Sometimes the news breaks when you're a long way from the sea, but that doesn't stop us from having a view. The news that Australia will be in the 38th America's Cup confirms a rumour that's been doing the rounds for months. They're last in by a long way. They haven't declared a boat or a sailing team and probably have no more than a year before the first official race in the AC75s. A year in which they have to reconfigure an AC75, launch it and learn to sail it quicker than anyone else. In a normal Cup cycle, if such a thing exists, that's nuts. So while the announcement is exciting for the Cup and supporters down under, do the Australians actually stand a chance? For the Cup, it's very good news. To have 6 challengers lining up to have a crack at the Defender at a time when there's been open criticism as to whether the Cup has lost its way says a great deal. To have 2 new teams come in says even more, especially when time is so tight. And these are teams that have huge amounts of experience and are definitely not there to make up the numbers. So could Australia actually win the America's Cup? Australia, too, remains the most famous challenger of all time after the historic victory in 1983 that broke the longest winning streak in sporting history after 132 years of American dominance. But they haven't been in it for 26 years. The game has moved on, boats now fly, and all bar one of their rivals were at the last Cup and have plenty of current experience. To be there at all, let alone stand a chance, is a ridiculously big ask. Or is it? Let's start by looking at what they've announced. The challenging club that they represent is the Royal Prince Edward Yacht Club in Sydney. Lovely looking club, but one that has no Cup experience. Well, that doesn't really matter because they've got plenty of it when it comes to the key names. Head of sailing is Tom Slingsby. Glenn Ashby is head of performance, and Grant Simmer is the team CEO. And just in case you didn't know, Simmer has been involved in every cup since he was the navigator on Australia 2 back in 1983. Team Australia is backed by John Winning and family. Winning is not only a successful businessman, but a very accomplished sailor. He won the 29er Skiff World title in 2002 at 18, went on to become a top sailor in the 18-foot skiff class, and won the Sydney Hobart race in 2016 and 2018 aboard the 100-footer Perpetual Loyal. And back in 2024, he was patron of Team Australia's Women and Youth America's Cup teams in Barcelona. And if that's not enough current experience, he's racing in San Diego at the Etchells World Championships right now, where he's 15th in the 76-boat fleet. Tom Slingsby needs no introduction, really. His team has dominated SailGP since the start. He got Olympic gold in 2012, he won the America's Cup with Oracle Team USA in San Francisco, and won back-to-back world titles in the International Moth. Plus, he was co-helmsman aboard American Magic last time around. Glenn Ashby is a global rock star too. He's got 17 World Championship titles across various classes. He's won the America's Cup 3 times, once with BMW at Oracle in 2010 on the Giant Try, then twice with the Kiwis in 2017 and 2021. Plus, he holds the land sailing speed record and an Olympic silver medal in the Tornado. But I think the one thing that really stands out now, and has done for some time, is that if it's got a wing or foils on it, everybody wants him. He's leading the rig program with Ferrari Hypersail and has been working with the French in both their Cup and SailGP teams. But it's not all roses. Ashby broke his leg last weekend in Bermuda aboard the French F50. Also on the team is Tash Bryant, who's one of the crew on the Australia SailGP team, and who clearly has plenty of talent and ability. But an impressive lineup is one thing. To stand a chance, Team Australia is going to need a lot more than that. And on the face of it, it's a huge ask. The runway is short, the technology complex, and the opportunity to catch up ridiculously tight. But then again, there's another way of looking at it. The team is rumoured to have got hold of the Kiwi boat that won the 36th America's Cup in 2021, the COVID Cup. Under the new rules, the boats will be lighter and fly sooner, and you don't need human muscle power to achieve it, at least not like last time. So hull shape is not quite so important. You only need 5 crew, 1 more than an AC40 and 1 less than they have to fly a SailGP F50. And this team knows all 3 boats pretty well. And sailing an AC35 is closer to current foiling boats than ever before. And when it comes to the lack of time to train, take a look at the rules for this Cup as set out in the protocol. As from the 15th of January this year to the 14th of January next year, everyone can sail their AC75 for up to 45 days. For this year at least, that's not a huge number of days, and so far only the Kiwis have been out in their 75. But teams that did less well last time around get an extra allowance. The French can have an extra 10 days, Alinghi 8, Luna Rossa 4 and the Brits 2. I wonder what the new teams will be given, if any, but this could also provide a big leg up. Next year, everyone gets another 45 days ahead of the final preliminary event. So, given these limits and the restrictions on the development of the boats, maybe a short runway with a team that has stacks of experience isn't as much of a big deal as we might have thought. On top of this, the America's Cup will be in Naples, but as far as I understand, there will only be one event this year in the Cup location, which sounds like it'll be in September. And that's not the same time as the America's Cup will be held. So no one will have any full-on race experience at the venue going into the Cup. That too could be a benefit to the latecomers. And finally, the money issue. If ever there was a time when having limitless funds didn't matter, it must surely be now. After all, what are you going to spend it on? A new boat? No. Endless training? No. Hiring Olympic-grade muscle power from another sport? No, I think you get the point. And if there's one team that has consistently proved what can be achieved on a relatively small budget, it's the Kiwis. They've shown that you need focus, ability, ingenuity, and experience rather than limitless funds to win the America's Cup. And when you apply this to what we now know about the Australian team, well, I wouldn't rule them out.
Julia.
Yes?
You wouldn't rule them out.
No, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Correct or Crutonic?
I think it's correct. I'm thinking about Elon Musk.
You're always thinking about Elon Musk.
But I mean, if
you're in love with him.
I am. But
and you're investing in all of his companies.
I am.
Pre-IPO.
Yeah.
I hope you make a lot of money.
I do too. But there is this mindset which says, oh, it's always taken 4 years to get prepared for this, so we have to have at least 3 years to do it. His last project, Elon's last project, they said it would take at least 3 years to get all the satellites up, and he'd have a plan to do it. He did it in 19 days.
Yeah, well, there's a difference, though, between Elon Musk. He's, Julia.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry.
He has got enormous wherewithal and enormous resources and contacts that other people don't have. But let's carry on here and see what the others think. Clay Embley is saying rule them out. Jamie Hutchison says correct. I think that means don't rule them out. All you need, I don't know what that means, Jamie. All you need these days is a good simulator. Jody says it's just a computer game these days.
Oh, well, I haven't thought about that.
Jody, I'm sorry. Again, having been involved in 13 of these campaigns, 11, 12, 11, call it 11 campaigns, 13 campaigns. And interesting, why did he put this carousel at the end of that video?
It's a merry-go-round.
The merry-go-round. Ted Ryman says you cannot rule them out. Cedric Lorch says no way Australia will be competitive. Well, I think they'll be competitive. I think they'll get around the racetrack, and as Stingray said earlier in the comments, they'll probably win a few races in the LVC, the Louis Vuitton Cup. But man, oh man, again, having been involved in so many of these campaigns, trying to just get, as Grant Simmer said, we're in the mustering mode. We're mustering everybody together and the forces together. It takes forever to set up a 501, the equivalent in Australia of a nonprofit, a C3, or not.
Yeah.
Get it set up corporately, get insurance, get all the horrible stuff we never have to think about, or hopefully we don't talk about. But Jamie Hutchison is saying don't count them out. I think there's a bigger chance that I'll be the next Queen or King of England, Julia, than them winning. I think most people agree that this is a toe in the water campaign.
And that New Zealand will win as they always have?
I think New Zealand is so far ahead of everybody else. It's not even funny. Look, they've been, again, and Matthew Sheehan is right. It's not just the money. It's not how much, because teams have won the cup that didn't have the most money.
Yep.
Not very often, but they did.
Yeah.
And Jody's arguing with me saying it used to be a design race. This is no longer the case. Jody, it is a design and engineering race at least as much as ever, if not more than ever, I think. And Margarita Marshall agrees that their chances of winning are slim this time, 2029. Lance Burke asking, will they beat the French or the Americans? Well, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. They could even beat the Italians. And as somebody said, one wag said, at least they've got a boat. Unlike Sir Ben, who apparently doesn't have a boat.
Yeah.
What a mucked up fest this is all around.
Mm.
I think, Matt, one thing for sure, and I agree with Alistair Murray, Matthew Sheehan is the best. His videos, week in and week out, month in and year out, there's now this thing called The Foil, which is a website, podcast, and they do some videos. And they're okay, and they're getting better. There is AC38 themselves, as Richard Gladwell and I have been discussing. They're now trying to produce content themselves rather than let the media, the sailing and other media, do it. But this guy, if you're going to subscribe to 3 sites, subscribe to Matthew Sheehan's YouTube channel. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
Click on it, subscribe to it. Subscribe to Gladwell on sail-world.com. And they're a hugely good site. And subscribe to Magnus the Magnificent, knowing full well that he is shilling for, he is working for, he's at the behest of the America's Cup, but he still writes insightful, fun stuff. And it's funny, when his reports come out, I get them in the morning here at 3, 4 in the morning, and they're on the East Coast, they get them, and in Europe, they in the afternoon, and suddenly the Super FOSI chat lights up, and people, oh, what a crouton, Matthew. Not Matthew. What a crouton Magnus the Magnificent is. Yes. He's gone way over the top this time. Or you know what? He's spot on, and it's always somewhere in between in between the two, and we give them all credit. Go subscribe, Matthew Sheehan. With that report.
I really like his approach.
Planet Sail. Yeah. Well done. Good stuff. Okay, Julia, here is, and I don't know why he used that. Where is that carousel? I guess it's in London somewhere, isn't it? Who knows? Dogzilla Monster likes the foil. Who are the foil working for, Stingray? Dogzilla Monster. Supposedly Canadian owned, but we don't know. ETNZ is going to win, Clay Embley says. They have stacked the deck and will protect what they selfishly see as their golden goose. Well, they're just got way more experience, way more time. They write the class rule. They foist it upon everybody else.
They build the boats.
They
specify the boats.
Well, and they've been on the water.
Yes.
You go back and look at the teams, who has won the cup, and the teams that were on the water early and often almost always have won. Mm-hmm. Full stop.
Yep.
Okay. We've done the corrector Croutonic. I think there's a mixed bag here. Jody Shields thinks they have a shot. Now, Jody's an Australian, and I think most of the Australians are, and rightfully so, properly so, are cheering for their home team.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope they're competitive. Let's hope they win.
Yes.
Let's hope they win, Julia.
Be
and
great.
Take the cup away and reform ACP, but I think the courts are going to reform ACP before any of these other teams do. Corrector Croutonic, that's we haven't done one of those segments in a while. Julia.
What?
And we haven't done one of these segments in a while either. We've got a FOSI Focus here today. My favorite music of any of our slides, any of our segment music.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bass player.
I know.
As you know. Okay, the FOSI Focus, Friends of Sailing Illustrated. Julia, do you know who that is?
Mr. Otterowski.
That is Chris Otterowski. This is Friday Flashback. That is from, I think, 2010. Mm-hmm. That's at the RC44 championship in Amsterdam. And that's a Gilles Martin Raget photo of a power trio. Chris, better known as Otto, Chris Otterowski, past Commodore Seattle Yacht Club, past president of in any number of other organizations here in the States and beyond. Russell, of course, and Larry. And I think that's when I think it is at that event that I met Gordon Smith there in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
Or he says Amsterdam. Was it Amsterdam or was it Copenhagen? I don't remember. Maybe it was Amsterdam, in which case I probably didn't meet Gordon Smith there. But maybe. Back on this other topic, Jody Shields says, I'll be surprised if they win, but I'll also be surprised if there isn't some more big bombshells to come out of the Love Fest that is ACP, the America's Cup Partnership, indeed. Back on FOSI Focus, we have some other FOSI in focus. Do you know what that is and where that is, Julia?
10 Downing.
No.
No.
Yeah, that's not a bad guess, though. That's at the end of St. James Place in London.
Mm-hmm.
Hotels there on either side, I believe.
Yeah.
And at the end of the street there, and I've spent many hours in that building, as have a lot of the people on here, that is the Royal Ocean Racing Club, the London clubhouse. And of course, they got this big, beautiful clubhouse now down in Cowes. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Who has been staying at Rourke this week?
Has he?
Yeah, he and his dad. William went to school, a.k.a. Bing Bong, who's also often on this show under the handle Bing Bong. He's been going to school in Paris for the last term, and his dad flew over and picked him up with one of the other boys, and they've been touring various places and meeting up with other FOSI, including last evening in London when John Sangmeister on the left met up with James Pleasance, and of course, William the Tall and Tom Cheney, who's another great sailor and longtime friend of the Sangmeister family. And John says tomorrow he's having breakfast with Pindar. So a FOSI fest, Julia.
Sounds good.
A FOSI fest in London.
Great.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
Which gets us to the last leg and also a favorite of the music for segmental music, if that's the right word. Scott Joplin's Maple Leaf Rag, played by the Commodore Doctor, Claire Harrington. This is a video about Pensacola.
My name is Jonathan DeVries. I am here as the Green Fleet coach. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, where I am a foiling coach. I coach both board sailing and dinghy sailing, and so I'm in the capacity as a WASP coach this week. I'm super excited to be able to offer something pretty unique for what is effectively one of the largest, international regattas of the year for the WASPs, in that we will have the ability to help truly learner developmental athletes in the same space as some of the best sailors that we have in this craft on the planet, which is amazing. Today, we've been just making sure, just like everyone else here is making sure all their boats are set up, getting everything right. We're doing the same thing. The difference is some of these athletes have never rigged a boat before. So the advantage is, yes, they have a coach like me to help them, but there's also, fantastic sailors who come all the way from Australia who say, you know what? I've done my boat. Let me teach you how to use this. And so now it's coming right from the sailors themselves. So the age range is pretty unique, and it's actually one of the fun parts that I have as a Green Fleet coach. So we have people as young as 12, and we have a couple of Supermaster sailors. So that means they're 50 plus, all wonderful people just looking to learn, and it's a fantastic mix of, experience both in age and also in sailing ability. Sometimes it's actually the younger sailors who coming from Opti, who actually have more sailing ability than some of the older people. So it ends up balancing itself out quite nicely. The learning curve to get into foiling, while not unapproachable, it is a bit steeper than perhaps a traditional sailing boat. The idea behind this is, okay, you come here, you be around everyone who's at the regatta, you start to learn the skills, you become more confident in your sailing, and the eventual goal throughout the week is that hopefully we can give you enough skills and try to set everyone up for success, within themselves in a more independent manner, so that they can take advantage of one of the most wonderful things about the WASP class, which is how open the community is to helping each other and to teaching each other to help improve and to grow.
Hearken, blockheads at the front, they call it. This guy from Vancouver, I didn't get his name at the top of the segment. Boy, he's great.
Yeah.
He is super. Alistair says he's super excited, but he was great. The enthusiasm, he's there helping to get old people and young people and into this One Design WASP. And Pensacola is a great venue, as we're seeing, and I think we're going to be hearing more and more about Pensacola, Julia, going forward, because it is a terrific sailing venue. I sailed there a fair bit as a kid, or as a young, in my teens and 20s. And it's even a better place now because of all the activity from American Magic and now American Racing Challenge. As I think Stingray knows, ARC will have 7 sailors included as they gather for their first big, he says they're congregating. American Racing Challenge is congregating in Pensacola this weekend. So they're getting off the dime as well. Thanks, Harkin, for that video. And thanks for the super enthusiasm of this He calls himself a Green Fleet coach. Good stuff. Which gets us, Julia, to Whiskey Tango Foxtrot with our new pillow.
Oh, look at that.
Courtesy of Magnus the Magnificent, who found it in an antique shop in Newport, and that's apparently on its way to us. But I have a photo that we're using now on the graphic here.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Magnus. Thank you, Commodore Doctor. Okay, this first one. Florida woman, according to news reports and internet reports all over
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram and beyond. Florida woman detained after attempting to ride a shopping cart down Interstate 95. It's the big north-south highway that goes from Maine down to Key West almost. Well, not quite that far, but to Miami and beyond. A shopping cart at 3 a.m. with a sail fashioned from a shower curtain. And as somebody said, with the price of gas these days, can you blame her?
Oh.
Now, Julia, I should ask you, is that correct or Crutonic?
I love it.
I had to go research it because I just couldn't believe it was true. Notwithstanding, it's been posted and published all over the place.
It has.
And the mugshot and the image, according to Snopes, is the image circulating alongside the fake story.
Yes.
Was likely generated by artificial intelligence. Snopes says they've called BS on this and said it is fake news. Pretty good fake news.
Yeah.
Passed along to us by Clayton Embley. Thank you, Clayton.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Alcohol drinkers get sick less often than non-drinkers, research says.
Yes.
Is that true, Julia?
It is.
It is? You sure that's not fake news, too?
Yes.
Why? Because it kills off all the germs? Because drinkers have more fun partying with their friends, the socialization?
Socially, yeah, socializing.
And that's why?
Yeah.
Or is the cause and effect that people who drink are also just more outgoing and moving around, therefore they drink? It's not the drinking that causes this, it's the other way around.
Oh, no, yeah. They drink as a part of them.
The part of the social. Apparently it is true, and apparently we got to look into that, whether it kills germs or you're just having more fun with more friends.
I think they studied it pretty carefully.
You do? Well, research it for our Tuesday show. We got to look into that some more. Maybe I have to go back to drinking again, Julia.
I haven't stopped, except I have.
Look at Steve Gruber's calling Pensacola Pepsi Cola. Yeah, thistles, flying Scots. What is the new boat that the Gulf Yachting Association is using? There's Pete Carrico as well. Okay, Julia, speaking of the drinking show with a sailing habit, I thought we should include this little tidbit. Cleaning hack, use alcohol to wash the floors.
What a good idea.
She's got her glass of something, scotch, behind her cleaning bucket. So yeah, you should have some alcohol. If I had to be down on my hands and knees cleaning the floors, you always are critical of my kitchen here at the Beach Street Yacht Club and how dirty the floor is.
It is.
Well, it's not that bad, but it is. It could be cleaner. It could
you,
be.
You just think it's gray.
Isn't the floor gray? You put that tile in 10,
white.
15 years ago. It's white.
Yes.
It's not white.
It is.
Oh, my goodness. Clayton Embley wants to know if she's single. I'm not sure which one, if it's this one or the one previously. That was sent in anonymously. And this next one, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. How nasty are you? I'm a cold, clammy, wet shower curtain against your arse in rough seas, nasty. Clayton Embley said that. Too. That's a good wrap up, except we always end on this nice one from Blake Middleton. All the smartest people sail, and my father is fond of sailing. At age 93, he still is doing a bit of sailing and still saying this, that sailing isn't for everybody, but it is for anybody. Julia?
Sir.
At this stage in the show, as we're wrapping up, you like to say...
Yes. Oh, there's this great opportunity to like and follow and share to all your friends to let them know about us. It helps.
And comments are welcome, even in replay. We're one of the few live shows that do that because our people are so well behaved.
They are.
There's no name calling. There's no personal attacks. There's no coarse language. And if there are, you figure it out in a hurry.
Yeah.
And it's kind of you don't even give somebody a second chance,
No.
right? No. Good. Florida woman, Cedric Lorch wants to know if the Florida woman in her shopping cart should be an honorary member. We'll make her honorary Commodore. She really had done it.
Yeah.
Cedric Lorch also says that alcohol kills the hantavirus. I don't know about that. Clayt Embley says if she will sail a shopping cart, she won't complain about your boat. There's Commodore Tom Pace saying, yeah, the other boat that the GYA, the Gulf Yachting Association, a fabulous organization of yacht clubs, from what? From New Orleans to St. Pete? Tom, tell me in the comments if you would, please. And Alex DaGosta is saying, if you haven't rewatched the sailing sequence in Top Gun, we played that on this show and I think got a copyright strike one time. Maverick yet, I strongly advise you to do so. There's a link to it, 6 minutes. Yeah. They tried to film it in San Diego, and it was just not windy enough, so they moved it up here, San Francisco Bay, in a J125, and good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to all of you, as we also say, especially those of you who contribute some money each month via patreon.com/join/Sailing Illustrated. We appreciate very much your support. And yes, we will do a show next Tuesday, Julia. Is that what we decided?
I think so.
Oh, come on, when you were out
I know.
in Studio C,
Yes.
watching the television,
Yes.
and having your third or fourth coffee,
Yes.
and I came out to you before I went to hair and makeup,
And I said, whatever you want.
and I said, should we do a show on Tuesday? And you said, no. And I said, come on, I'll be bored. Let's do a show. Do a show on Tuesday, but it will be our last show.
Yeah.
For we are going to go back into our hiatus.
If we get so good at postponing it, we just make continued.
Well, we didn't really have our big hiatus. We didn't have our big sabbatical. So we're going to have it. No more vacation. Now we're going to do Tuesday's show, and then we're going to go back on sabbatical. There's some things we have to get done.
No question.
And we will. Thank you to everybody who gave us audio, video, and images for today's show, including this long list.
Mm-hmm.
Julia, final thoughts?
No.
Okay. Yes, Meg is having her kid, we think, June 1st, so that's part of the sabbatical as well, but we got some things to tune up and clean up that we will do during our sabbatical, and we'll be back sometime in June. We'll figure that out, but we are going to take a few weeks off after Tuesday's show.
Yeah, and after 10 years.
And that's right. We've been at this for 10 years and 931 shows.
Mm-hmm.
But, hopefully we'll get to 1,000.
We'll get to 1,000.
Hopefully. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. We hope you have a great weekend wherever in the world you are. And if you can, go sailing. Sail fast, sail safe, have fun. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
You see that? Claire thinks I need time off to wash the kitchen floor. You're right, Commodore. You're absolutely right.